The next time you're out for a walk, pick up small branches or sticks of different lengths from each other. Place the branches on a table and take inventory. Lay them out horizontally on your table, with the shortest branch on one end and the longest on the other. Also, if there are any sharp or protruding edges or branch ends, cut them off safely using a small saw. Take some jute twine and tie the end to one end of the shortest branch. Once secure, tie the twine to the end of the second branch. Hold them up to make sure the twine length between the two branches is even. Now, take some of your favorite Christmas ornaments and lay them out on the table in between the different branches. Start with larger ornaments and then fill in with smaller ornaments. Vary the ornament types. You could include ball ornaments, solid colors, plaids and patterns, and even dangling ornaments. Once you have an arrangement that you like, take small pieces of jute twine and tie the ornaments to the branch that is above it. Hang your new branch Christmas tree on a wall and enjoy. Notice how it takes up no floor space and makes a festive holiday statement for any wall.
So I headed outside and I started with some branches that I collected, and then I took some Rust-Oleum spray paint, metallic spray paint in the shade gold, and then once the branches were completely dry, I brought them inside. Next, I took this container that I got from my local home decor store, and it's not exactly like the base of the lamp that I saw online, but I do like this style and I think it'll complement my project perfectly. So next, I took some Oasis dry floral foam and I cut it down to fit within my container. So I just began slicing off the edges of it so that it was more the shape of the container, and then it would just slide in. I did cut it off so that it would fit slightly just under the rim of my container because I don't want to see the floral foam from the top. Once that was done, I began sticking in my gold branches. Once I stuck in my first branch, it was a little wobbly, so I just used this little piece of plastic. It's actually called a floral frog, and you just stick it in the bottom of the floral foam, and then you can apply hot glue to the bottom of that, and then you can secure your floral foam into your container. So once it was secured and in my container, I could continue adding more branches till I was happy with the look of everything. Next, I took this dry florals. This is actually called Rustico, and I cut off tiny branches from it, and then I applied them to my branches using hot glue. I began placing them all over, but making sure that I cut different sizes of pieces and making sure as well that I cut them as close to the leaves as possible before sticking them into my tree so that it didn't have any unsightly branches sticking out. Next, I took these fairy lights and then I strung them through the tree. Now, when I was doing this, I realized that I probably should have stuck the fairy lights on before sticking my leaves on because it was a little bit difficult working the fairy lights in, but live and learn, and now I know for next time. I next took some fine grit white sand and then I placed it around the base of my tree just to cover that unsightly floral foam. And this is my completed project. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, and even though it's not exactly like the lamp I saw online, I'm pretty happy that I was able to create something after being inspired by a very expensive product that I found online. I hope that you enjoyed my creative dupe on this lamp. Thanks so much for tuning into Hometalk. I took this piece of stained wood that I just had kicking around in my craft pile, and then I came in with the Decor Enchanted line of paints. So this black paint that I'm putting on here is the base coat. And then I came in with the Decor Enchanted in green. So this is the stunning iridescent top coat that we're going to paint on. And this is done with the gold. So in the same line, just a different color. Then I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to take these glass beads that I picked up at my local dollar store, and I'm going to begin making a Christmas tree shape. So I'm just going to line them up starting with the larger row at the bottom and just working my way up the top. I'm placing them in spots here, and then I'm going to make sure I like the shape and everything before I glue them down. I found this cute little plastic snowflake in my Christmas craft collection, and that is what I'm going to use for my star. I'm just using regular hot glue to glue the glass beads down and then making sure I pull away any hairs from the glue gun. And then I'm going to glue my plastic snowflake in the top as well with some hot glue. For the base of my tree, I have these little wood log slices, and they just come in a little pack from my dollar store. And I'm going to take a pair of kitchen shears and I'm just going to cut them right in half. And then I'm going to place them on the bottom, sticking up like a 3D effect, almost like a realistic looking tree stump. So this is what I'm using for the base. Once I have that glued down, I thought that the whole project needed just a little bit more embellishment, something just to really make it stand out a little bit more and jazz it up. So I came in with some Mod Podge and some gold foil, and I just did like a gold leafing foil technique just around the edges to create a nice, classy and elegant border. And this just kind of gives my project a little more glam because I felt like it needed just a little something extra just to glam it up in time for Christmas. So I let that set and then I brushed away the excess. Then to add just the icing on the cake, I came in with this shimmer. So this is from the Enchanted line as well from Decor, and this is just like a top coat that you can put on top of things just to give it that little shimmer and shine. So it's like clear, but then when it catches the light, you'll just see little tiny flecks of sparkle. So it's really nice because it's not quite a sparkle, it's just a shimmer. And these are my finished projects here. So you can see the one I did here with the green iridescent and then the gold as well.
This is Gutter Guard. It is a plastic mesh material that is used to protect your gutters from leaves. But we're going to use this to create a topiary. So the first thing I want to do is roll out a big long length of it and cut it off. Now I want my topiary to be white and this Gutter Guard happens to be black. So the first thing I'm going to do is spray paint it white. So I'm laying it out flat. I have secured the ends with some heavy objects and I'm just spraying one side of it white. Now I need a base for my topiary, and I am using this red pot. I'm actually going to leave some of the dirt that's in there after I pulled the plants out, and I'm putting a piece of cardboard on top so I have a nice flat base. Now I'm cutting a slit in the middle with just a craft knife here. I grabbed this metal pole that I had in my basement. You could also pick up a metal pole at the hardware store while you're there, and I'm just going to stick this through that slit I cut all the way down into the dirt so it's nice and secure. All right, my Gutter Guard is dry and the pot and the metal pole are all ready to go. So now I'm going to put this together. So what I want to do is weave this Gutter Guard on the pole so it kind of looks like a tree. And I'm just going to continue this way, doing kind of a Z fold with this Gutter Guard and making the layers a little bit narrower as I go to the top again so it resembles a tree. To ensure that this doesn't move around, I'm adding a little bit of hot glue to where the Gutter Guard touches the pole, not on the whole thing, but on the top and then down toward the bottom because I don't want this slipping around. Now it's time to decorate. I've got this nice base on the bottom with the cardboard, so I'm adding some greenery in, and then I'm going to add some ornaments as well. Now I'm just placing them in here, but once I get everything arranged just how I want it, I am going to use a little bit of glue to keep these in place. I intend on keeping this topiary outside, so I want everything to stay put and not blow away. I also found some cute mini ornaments, and I'm hanging these on the topiary. You can get really creative with this. You can use any color scheme, any color pot, and really make this match your home decor. This topiary is going to sit on my porch this holiday season. It was so much fun to create something using non-traditional supplies. So for the base of this project, I'm using an apple basket. You can also use a flower pot for this. And in the bottom of this, we're just gonna put some rocks. This is gonna sit outside and I don't want it to blow away. Now inside the basket, I'm just gonna take a flower pot, the kind that you might get a shrub or something in. We're just gonna stick this right on top. So this is our base. Now we're gonna place the tomato cage. We're just gonna pick it up and kind of set it in here a little bit. So this is pretty sturdy and snug in here, but I'm just gonna use a couple of zip ties to attach the handles of the apple basket to the side of the tomato cage. It's gonna help hold it in place. Okay, now that we're in there nice and sturdy, our basket is nice and heavy, let's turn this into a topiary. We're gonna pull the top up here together, so actually the bottom of the tomato cage, and use a little floral wire to twist around there and hold it together. Now starting at the bottom, we're going to use just sections of inexpensive garland like this to wrap our topiary. As you're going around, each of these wired pieces can be used to kind of wrap around the tomato cage as needed and really secure it in place. Now we'll come back and kind of fluff all these pieces up to make it look like a nice full topiary. No matter what season we're decorating for, we want to add some lights. So we're just going to take a set of white lights and string these around the tree. So let's pull out some fall decorations, and we're going to make this a fall tree. A roll of burlap makes a really nice ribbon to go around. We could add some different color ribbons or some beautiful flowers. A tree that can work all through fall. So now let's turn this into a tree that's going to work for winter. Burlap would actually work for winter, but we're going to add a little bit of sparkle. So we're back to the bare bones of the tree with just the lights on it. So I'm going to start with some pieces of this wired silver ribbon. So we've got the ribbon kind of placed around the tree. Now we're going to do, just like we did for the fall tree, we're going to take some floral picks, but we went with some more sparkly versions this time. And we're just going to stick these in around the tree. Can also use some other greenery like this, kind of a frosted look. And some pine cones. If you nestle these in really well, they will hold up, but you can always use some floral wire or even some hot glue to get them to stay. I hope you are inspired to go create your own DIY topiary and you took away some tips for decorating that kind of topiary for any season. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.